Right, hello again boys, it's your favourite self-hating YouTuber here. After my last challenge run, I got a suggestion for a Borderlands 3 challenge run by this sadistic prick to beat the game with Zane's drone and clone only. However, this is me we're talking about, so I decided to remove the shield too, for funsies. Yes, I'm losing my sanity. The removal of the shield is actually what added the challenge here, since most of Zane's skills revolve around the idea of having a shield. In other words, this was gonna suck some serious tink ass, until later on where the clone just becomes oddly broken. That being said, here's the rules for the run. I am not allowed to fire a weapon outside of scripted moments. You'll see these as we go along. I cannot use a shield, though I can pick them up to sell them. I'm also not allowed to use the purple skill tree, mainly because I forgot it was in the game. That is it. Anything else goes. Legendary class mods, legendary nades are allowed. Trust me, if I didn't have them, I wouldn't have been able to do this challenge. The first issue of this run is Shiv. Since we haven't got to level 2 yet, we don't have our drone or clone to use. So we have to resort to melee for this boss. Shiv took a couple tries, but he eventually falls to my 22-inch arms. Lilith does her best Barry Allen impression and goes through a wall. And Vaughn needed to be saved. And let's just say there was no fucking way I was letting my chiseled bandit bro down. For now, I have unlocked the unrivaled power of Shadow Clone Jutsu, and a drone that misses 40% of the time. At this point, Lebronzo over here was on his knees begging for that fucking 28-second cooldown to be over. Vaughn was safe and sound at his favourite OF Girls Twitter page, and now we get the pleasure of meeting the model, the myth, the most beautiful creature to ever grace this planet we call Pandora, Ellie. Hitching a ride on the Bang Bus, we get our first vehicle of this run. It was time to go and show Rent-A-Gob some of this Naruto fanboy action. Reaching Mouthpiece was an uphill struggle to say the least, as always. The enemies here were simply abusing me in ways that cannot be described on this platform. Every enemy here was around the same level as me, but due to a lack of a shield, they hit me the same way my father did when the toaster wasn't working. We're talking some serious Nat 20 enraged barbarian damage. With Father Time on my side and spamming my jutsu at inhuman speeds, I was able to make it to the beat speaker. Luckily for me, this boss fight didn't go Overwatch 2, and by that, I mean shit. There are plenty of enemies around for a little slurp should I go down, and the arena was also wide enough to fit even my Nikocado looking ass, so I was able to move around freely. After killing Rent-A-Gob, the challenge would have failed here, since the goddess of lust herself, Ellie, needs us to run over some organic matter, thus forcing me to kill enemies without my clone or A10 Warthog. Feel free to mention me in your tweets or in the comments and tell me how invalid the run is. Mwah. Grabbing Ellie her PS2 memory card, I was finally able to create a cocaine bomb by swapping places with my shadow clone. Getting this useless fuck off the floor, and the Trikliurophobic gang was now in space. That felt really underwhelming. Also, here's a little lore behind the name here, right? Trikliurophobic is actually the fear of femboy cat maids. Do with that as you will. With all that being said, Trikliurophobic himself was ready to bring the pain train to Promethea. At the beginning of Promethea, there exists a glitch that allows you to skip past every enemy in the opening area. And with the power of God, and that poorly rendered turtle from Shark Tale, I knew this was the right thing to do. Encapsulating the shinobi way to help Lorelei, we realise we have this run in the bag. Now, explanation time. Choosing Zane for this run was needed. Well, no shit, it's in the title. But with my self-imposed ball clamp that is having no shield, we are limited to the orange tree. However, there are two run-saving abilities that will make you more menacing than the fat kid at lunchtime. 1. The Goofy Clone Nade. 2. The Goofy Clone Gun, which as you'll see later on, is stupidly overpowered. Lipsing this orange tree for the rest of the run will allow us to do way more damage, take less damage, and the ability to regain health after every kill. With this new grenade skill, I was straight up chewing ass and kicking gum, left and right. After some more cooldown, waiting and yapping to Reese, I was asked to go and find his date. On my way to that one kid from Demon Slayer, I was taking names and just filling up the graveyard. This utter devil fruit of a grenade skill allowed for my tippy tappers to keep on tapping. Wait, shit, now I sound like R. Kelly. It felt like cheating. This feeling was really short-lived after Zero asked me to collab on his vlog channel. The rest of the Malawan group was still forced to endure the constant barrage of my A10 Warthog. Nice aim, mate. And my clone imitating Squidward from that one amazing episode of SpongeBob. What a goofy little guy. Zero got his Infernal Iron boosting upgrade. I love you, Karlak. Right, Minimind was next. I thought he would cause much more of a problem, but with patience and the 63 cans of Monster that are in my room, Minimind got his ass fully piped. Giving shit stash brain. Athenas was next, to which I found the hailstorm of bullets that welcomed me there wasn't too good for my health. You may have been wondering, hey, Trikliurophobic, why did this video take so long to come out? Well, I'll tell you, young one. My PC fucking blew up, so I had to get my monkey to build me a new one.
McDonald's cup. A new PC there.
Luckily for you lot, the whole run wasn't lost. We just lost pretty much all of Athena's. At this point, that feeling of invincibility we had early on had truly left me. Fucking so close if you hadn't ripped my fucking... you bastard. Trump proceeded to violate me in ways that only the edgelords who got rejected at their sixth form prom would understand.
God fucking damn it, Caleb.
Unfortunately, all of my hours on Clicker Heroes went unrewarded, as Funky Monkey Traunt here kept sending me back to the Shadow Realm. Oh, I lost all my fucking momentum! I hate my fucking life! After embracing the fact that I must become stronger in order to surpass my limits to beat this Arc 1 anime villain, yes, you aren't even Arc 2, seeing Traunt fall at my hands brought me a joy that not just anyone can understand. To my fellow brethren who have beaten Dark Souls 3 with the Power Glove, I salute you. Returning to the Cook Lord of the Galaxy, Reese tells us we need to go and find his arch nemesis, Katagawa, resulting in us going to... The Skywell was a peaceful experience that wasn't painful in the slightest. I promise. Every second of the Skywell was like a walk through a blissful park, an endless avenue of joy, and of course it fucking wasn't. It sucked. I was getting drilled left and right constantly, forward and back. I don't know which part of the fucking A train I was on. Doesn't even make any sense. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I would love to show you the remainder of the Skywell and the torture that ensued. However, due to my PC malfunctioning, I lost around 6 hours of footage across this fucking video, which I thought was limited to only Athena's. However, it was not, and we also lost the Skywell as well, or most of it, so I'm losing my fucking sanity. Okay, right. Breathe. We're zen here. With enough patience and getting used to my balls being in a clamp, we finally managed to beat Katagawa. Ball. After defeating Katagawa Ball, Reese calls in another favor, the useless prick, to help him at Atlas HQ. Eviscerating any poor sods that are brave enough to get in my way, we finally managed to get up to Reese's office.
I wonder what it feels like to have my balls stuck in your throat.
Woo! And begin the Katagawa boss fight. Skip! Skip, 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 skip! Skip! The Katagawa boss fight itself essentially just evolved into me hoping and praying that my clone would shoot the right fucking one, or I got lucky and picked the right one with the A10 Warthog. There's nothing else to it. This boss does like no damage, and you should heal fast enough from the clones, so, I don't know. Next bit, we tell Reese to shave that monstrous slug off of his face, get the final goober for the vault, and head on into the first vault of this run, actually. We have an unfortunate encounter with an angry monkey. No, I don't mean my dad. I mean the Rampager. The Rampager is the first major boss of this run. And it was pretty easy. I got very lucky with the sense that the Rampager only took 2 attempts for me, and one of them was a very stupid death because Maya is brain dead. After playing this 3D version of Space Invaders for long enough, you get pretty damn good at it, and I was able to beat the Rampager. With Maya turned into a book and this little twat being shot at, yes, this counts as a mandatory shooting. I will not hear it any other way. We are to head on over to Schmieden 6, where we get to meet the mascot of the LGBTQ community, Wainwright Jacobs. I genuinely like this character quite a lot. Wainwright asks us to save his beloved. We team up with 2 of the Powerpuff Girls, and I get utterly blitzed trying to make a pizza. They locked me in a room. I pressed G, you fucking fat! But alas, it all went to plan for the fight of our lives. The warden. Yeah, I don't know. For this boss fight, I essentially just ran in a big circle for 15 minutes. No, I am not overstating that. Yep. Moving on, the Jacobs manner was entirely just run past the enemy and spam my jutsu off cooldown. After this, we encounter our first cringe cosplayer of this run. No, it's not a Genshin player. They're cosplaying Thanos. Next on the agenda was the Skip Dude. That was an awful impression, fuck me. Saving a town and conducting an extremely painful prison escape. Oh my sweet fucking lord. It was then time to enter the family jewels. Not those ones, you dirty bastards. Most of the family jewel was just go here, kill monkeys, go there, kill monkeys. Repeat. I think you lot can tell that I definitely prefer Borderlands 2, as everyone should do. Boss time! Genevieve was surprisingly brutal during the action skill downtime. God, those explosives are ridiculous! So, naturally being the jammy bastard that I am, I found a cheeky exploit. Ah, yes. The hatred from the Borderlands Reddit. It nourishes me. Can you not ban me again, though, please? Yay! Next on the chopping block was a game of aim labs where we have to shoot the targets. I did try to get so far by destroying them with my action skills as to staying, in line with the challenge, but I couldn't do that. After finding out the boys had indeed been betrayed and using the boner-fueled rage inside me, both me and my monkey tracked down that little purple rat fuck and made him draw his last breath. I also want to preface, we found the Rhino here, and this was the run-saving fucking weapon, especially at Carnivora. With justice served, Aurelia was next on my hit list, because quite frankly, she'd been running her mouth a little too much. Punching a statue in the dick like a real man, I've completed life. Speaking of hitting things, if you could hit those buttons below, I'd really appreciate it. We get to our second vault of this run. Moving on, our favourite punching bag was next, unleashing all of my power to basically do the same amount of damage as a fucking gnat. I realised the misery that I was in for. From this point on, the game really does ramp up the fuck you meter, but that's okay, for I am nothing if not persistent. Man, these R. Kelly jokes really are lining themselves up. Point being, unconscious people do not want a cuppa. Tannis got yoinked and there was no way I was letting the science mummy die. During the slog to Carnivora, we steal a car, dance about like a pansy, and the main issue I mentioned early on was here. In order to stop Carnivora moving, we must destroy the tanks, and in order to do that, you have to shoot them, because Zane's skills will not target them. Upon entering Carnivora, we realized two things. One, this place isn't funny, and two, the clone is broken. At this point in the run, we'd finally unlocked the ability for my clone to use my weapons, which, picking up the Rhino earlier, meant that ad clearing was a piece of piss. However, let me just say, they don't call it the Agonizer 9000 for fucking nothing. I was stuck on this boss for an unholy amount of time. What? What? What the fuck are you meant to do there? Mainly because, although the clone may be ridiculously powerful, it's only allowed to be there for 4 seconds during the Agonizer fight because of the blades. And it gets one shot. After a few attempts and raging into my pillow, I was finally able to beat the Agonizer 9000. And my god, do I never want to see a fucking magic show again. Fuck you, Penn and Teller. Tannis reveals herself to be an emo. Our chiseled bandit bro needed our assistance in order to stop Troy's control of the turrets, and of course there's no way we're letting him down. However, you know what that means. Fetch quest! On this episode of Fetch Quest, we head to Tannis's old lab to get a goober and drive it back. But can I also say, thank the Lord there's spawn points for that truck along the way. Allowing Tannis to gain control of the turrets, the Great Vault begins to open. And me personally, I'm not letting that slide. So step up, Troy, it's your turn to get molly-whopped by the 8th Hokage. Troy's surplus of tinks in the arena allowed me to flex my 44-inch quads without risk of getting put 6 feet under. Following the death of that CEX manager, I pick up the phone to find the OG Vault Hunter on the other end, Typhon de Leon. What a proper English Java he is. I decided it would be a good idea to take him up on his offer and go to Necrodofeo. Meeting Tindiana Jones was a surreal experience as he showed me how baby guns are made, and I was never the same since. Fighting through a Power Rangers reject and reaching the vault on Necrodofeo, the big machine unlocks. It does have a name, I just can't be arsed. And when we go inside, we murder hordes of Big Mouth fans. No, seriously, how can anyone like that show? It's just being a nonce for no reason. Anyway, with the 4 things in position, the ancient BIOS finally boots. Sadly, we are interrupted by Tyrene murdering her father, which in turn upset the science mummy, and being the 6-foot dark-haired tattooed simp I am, I could not let her get away with this. Putting on my big boy boots and preparing for an anal violation, I entered the final arena of the game, only to understand that Tyrene wasn't the issue, but the bar kids in the arena were. With this in mind, I embraced my spirit animal to eradicate this vermin. With that done...
Yes!
Oh my god. Lilith uses her powers to blow up the moon. And ladies and gentlemen, that was Borderlands 3 without a shield or a gun. Right, hello again. Thank you very much for sticking with me to the end of this video. I really do appreciate it. I wanted to take this moment to say, for those of you who have been around following me the last couple months, thank you. It really means a lot. You've been helping me through a very rough time in my life, so I really do appreciate it. As for runs in the future, I don't know if I want to just be doing challenge runs now. I think I'm going to branch out and try and give some little indie games some love. With all that being said, I want to say again, I do really appreciate all the love and support I have been getting off of you. The comments are so lovely to read. Other than that, that is all I have to say. Have a good day. I will see you in the future.